Secrets hidden in plain sight. Powers that move the world in the shadows. Questions no one dares to answer. Step beyond the Matrix. Subscribe.
Pay attention. We're gonna rip hantavirus apart right now. The first passenger on that cruise ship started developing symptoms of the hantavirus on April 6, 2026. Find it odd though that the mRNA vaccine for the hantavirus was published on April 24th, 2025. First known case of the hantavirus in the North American part of the world was in 1993. 2026 minus 1993 equals 33. Other than the Freemasonry loving the number 33, what else is 33? The number 33 is also interpreted in a revelation. It's interpreted that 33% of Satan's fallen angels were casted out of heaven. This is definitely work, sacrifices, and all that. For who? Satan. Stay with me here though. Season 23, episode 19 of The Simpsons, there was a virus outbreak on that cruise ship. Looks almost identical to the cruise ship today that has this outbreak on it. But pay attention to this. There's this scene right here where they show purple tongues. Well, if we go to page 33, page 33. If we go to page 33 of Pfizer on the C19 Pokey Poke, what's one of the symptoms right there? You see that? Hantavirus. Interesting. There's this scene here though. You see what it says on the boat? Royalty Valhalla. Who has said that we know that's a higher up? Oh yeah, Cash Patel said that. Here's the clip.
To my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
And do you know what Valhalla means? That means the Hall of the Fallen, aka Fallen Angels. You know, there's always this talk of viruses mutating. What if it's actually the VACCs? Those could mutate. Food for thought. We're gonna talk about this too. This fake actor that they had talk about this. You can literally tell it's fake.
I'm currently on board the MV Hondius. And what's happening right now is very real for all of us here.
You know what's funny is that if you really look into it, they pay for crisis actors. I'm not talking about in a movie. I'm talking about like, let's say there was an earthquake outside. They're going to be like, hey man, can we pay you to just absolutely freak out, run up and down the street, panic? Because they love the fear. Fear feeds evil. He keeps looking up and reading off of a screen. Terrible, whoever selected him. Not to mention, they kind of already told us this play. Who remembers this news article where it said the next pandemic was the hantavirus, ? That was posted in May of 2021. I can't make this up if I wanted to. Leave you with this last part right here. All right, so on The Simpsons, I'm gonna show you this clip where Bart Simpson's up top and he's basically saying like they fell for it.
Outbreak of the deadly Pandora virus is spreading rapidly. Humanity must endure.
Virus? They're buying it. They're buying it. Now to make sure no one can call home to check.
And watch this scene on the X-Files right here.
FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. What is an agency with such broad sweeping power doing managing a small viral outbreak?
You're saying it wasn't such a small outbreak?
No, I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
Well, what was it?
When we were young men in the military, your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare, a virus.
What killed those men?
A silent weapon for a quiet war.
Trump just released the first footage of the UFO files. It's going to be a long-ass summer for all of us. Let me repeat that. The first footage. They have more. Way more. I hear some people saying that this is just a distraction because of the virus that's going on right now. If it's not the virus, it's what happened with Disney World. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. Some people say they're aliens, they're demons, they're angels. Whatever they are, they've been here. If you ever had contact with them, you know exactly how this shit is about to play out. Yes, play out. Movie, entertainment, acting. Life is a stage. These people ran out of tricks to use, and the UFO is the last one. In fact, It's the masterpiece. They've been cooking this shit up for a long time. And 95% of the population is about to eat this shit up. They're not gonna know what to do. Remember, these people are masters at distracting. What do the word distract really mean? Anytime we have a global awakening, what do? Distractions. When they distract you, they take pieces from your spirit. Let me give you an example. You ever went to the hospital and your stomach was hurting and the doctor said, well, we did our research and you have a problem with your stomach. How about we do surgery and take a piece of it? And they're going to say, well, you don't really need the whole thing. Just give us a part of it. This is what's happening right now with the politicians and media. We have a global awakening, but they're going to give us some bullshit stories and say, you don't need your global awakening. Take this. Take. That's all they do. When we try to add, they subtract. They don't multiply. They just distract. I must say they did a hell of a job. You know why? Because these life forms really do exist, but they lied to us so much. We don't know what to believe. They might come out and show us real aliens doing real things, and we might say, that's just AI. That's just the media trying to distract us. There is something else going on, but they don't want us to know about it. Can I tell you how the internet really works? You ready for this? Too much information is never good. Download. Too much stimulation. You ever charge your cell phone and was using it at the same time? That shit get really hot. Well, our mind works the same way. Too much information, especially from the Matrix, is not good. What they're about to do to the public, pretty bad. Remember, they only release one video. They have way more. The other shit that's coming is going to change the way you see life, spirituality, and religion.
Are you familiar with the hantavirus, Agent Mulder?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency. Think about that.
Our next presenter starred in Netflix's Bird Box, a movie where people survive by acting like they don't see a thing. Sort of like working for Harvey Weinstein. You did it! I didn't, you did it! Shut the fuck up! Please welcome Sandra Bullock. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and fuck off, okay? So, it's already 3 hours long. Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? Right, but tonight isn't just about the people in front of the camera. In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year. It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. I don't care. It wasn't the only epic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So, Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, 5th time. So,
you know what one of the biggest psyops was? Was them making you think that people wearing tinfoil hats was crazy. They show you all these conspiracy theory movies with all these crazy people wearing tinfoil hats, right? They literally done psyoped y'all mind into thinking that these people are crazy when they're actually the intelligent ones. Did y'all know that aluminum foil can block EMF waves? For those who don't know, EMF waves are electromagnetic frequencies. And what a lot of people don't understand is the human brain creates enough electricity to power a light bulb. Because a lot of people don't understand, we have a nervous system. It runs off of electricity. We constantly are emitting our own personal EMF waves. So why do they wear these hats, you ask? Because you literally can control somebody's mind through EMF waves. Electromagnetic frequencies can be used for brainwashing and mind control. Now, thoughts themselves are not electromagnetic waves, but they are produced by electrical and chemical activity in the brain that generates weak electromagnetic fields, which means that your mind at all times is susceptible to mind control, to manipulation from external EMF waves. Life itself is electromagnetic in nature. So yeah, you look at people like this and you think that they crazy. Little do you know, there is science to back this up of why they do this. You can literally control somebody's thoughts and their emotions simply through EMF waves.
President Trump released 160 UFO files, and here's what we found. I'm just gonna say there's not much, but this video is the most interesting. It is a mysterious UFO shaped like a star with 8 points, all with various length legs, and it seems to be writing something in the sky. And of course, the internet's gone crazy trying to find out what message it was trying to deliver. This was the best photo from the files, but when you read the description about it, it's the site of where a UFO was seen, and then the FBI has lab-rendered graphic overlay depicting eyewitness reports, and this is from September of 2023. So not an actual photo, more of a sketch reenactment. I just can't help but wonder what these UFO experts and propulsion scientists would have had to say about this file release. War.gov/UFO is where you can find these files, and it says here that the government is unable to make a definitive determination on the nature of these UFOs. And President Trump's message is the people can decide for themselves what the hell is going on. Have fun and enjoy. I think what's going on with these files is a lot of nada, but as always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Our bodies are generators. That's why energy is everything. The more you're stressed, depressed, you live in fear, society and the media, they feed off of that. That's how they gain more power. See, you can gain knowledge by reading a book, right? But you gain wisdom by being still and knowing God. And now they're talking about a new virus, but this virus has been here since 2016. Some of you just don't know that. But here's the thing, right? The president of Argentina is best friends with the prime minister of... And here's another thing. The president chose her to be the head of the CDC. Now, why do you think that is? It's because when everything falls apart, when many lives are lost because of this virus, they're not going to blame the president. They're going to blame her for it. It's all part of the plan. You just got to wake up. You see, this isn't just about depopulating the population, right? This is about putting a certain group of people in power. Pay attention. The new mayor of New York is East Indian. Kamala Harris is Indian. The FBI director, Patel, is Indian. See, you guys don't understand what's going on, but what they're trying to do is replace the African Americans with the Indian population. As a matter of fact, it's actually happening right now. When you raise your vibration and understand patterns, frequencies, and codes, you understand everything is planned. See, no offense, but if you're still religious, you're operating at a low frequency. Because in order to raise your vibration, step into a high frequency, you gotta step away from religion. Most of you are waiting for someone, right? But when the Christ consciousness arrives, most people won't receive it because they were waiting on something that wasn't true. And then here comes the people, well, I have rent due on the 1st. When you operate in the kingdom of God, rent doesn't even matter. It's already taken care of. I even had somebody tell me, but what about digital IDs? Don't comply. In the kingdom of God, we don't comply to things of earth.
There's 3 giant corporations, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, which own, collectively, they own each other, so it's really one giant corporation. but they also own 89% of the S&P 500. They own everything. They've now decided to buy every single family home in America. Oh, if they stay on the current trajectory, they will own 60% of the homes in this country, single family homes, by 2030. They literally are trying to buy everything. The head of it, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock.
Imagine if they own everything, how easily it's going to be for them to enforce their agendas.
Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, is on the board of the World Economic Forum, and what they've said, we want this great reset, which is you will own nothing and you will be happy. Well, they're on their way to making sure that we don't own anything. You all probably have heard of people who are about to buy a home, and somebody comes in at the last minute with cash offer and snatches it out of the market.
Right.
And it's usually an LLC with an ambiguous name. But if you trace that up, you'll find it's owned by BlackRock.
How do we stop BlackRock from owning everything? That's a great question. Well, we got to stop selling our companies to BlackRock. This is one of the problems in the spiritual space of entrepreneurship. Spiritual people start a company, they want to do good, and then the company grows and grows and grows, and it becomes a lot for them to handle. Running a $100 million company, that's intense. That requires a lot of discipline. You're engaged with a lot of matter. It's very difficult to stay in tune with spirit, balancing that much material. It's tough. Unfortunately, what happens is these spiritual entrepreneurs forfeit and they sell their company for $100 million. There's only so many companies that can buy a company for $100 million. Typically, it's BlackRock. And in this whole thing is also the solution. We need spiritual people that can also balance material, and a lot of material, because we can't keep selling our good creations to the fucking system for a quick bag. What was the fucking point in building the business in the first place if you were just gonna sell it for 100 mil to BlackRock? Something to think about.
I'm reporting to you from the town of Sir Al Garabiya. I don't know if you can hear the 2 Israeli drones hovering above our heads right now, but I have a message to the American taxpayers. While you're unable to afford groceries and probably one medical emergency away from bankruptcy, your tax dollars are going directly to Israel. The money is used to buy weapons to kill civilians in foreign countries. I have lost count of the number of massacres that have happened just in the last 24 hours here in Lebanon. It is dizzying. The site where I am now is the site where Israel yesterday killed 19 civilians in a massive airstrike that targeted 2 residential homes. Targeting residential areas is a war crime. I'd also like to say that the violence that you export into the world will come back to you. Your government will eventually use these tactics on you. You are next.
How many fucking people have to warn you? In my opinion, at this point, if you're not speaking about this, you're either evil, a good slave, or you're fucking retarded. What are you gonna do? I'm warning you right now, she's warning you right now, everybody in the fucking Middle East is warning you. These bombs are coming for us, America, Europe, all of us, if we don't fucking stop it. It is our choice to choose evil or good, and I'm demanding that you fucking make a choice. And yes, doing nothing is choosing evil.
An oil crisis at the same time as a war, at the same time as a virus outbreak. Like, this is actually so insane. I don't know if anything like this has ever happened in history, and maybe it has. Maybe things are just repeating, but I really do feel like this is about to be the full collapse of all of these systems. Like, I feel like we're actually in the end part, but like the very end part. Too many things are happening, like conflicts, outbreaks, crises that are basically manufactured and aren't happening organically, because war is not an organic thing that's just naturally happening. It's literally manufactured and orchestrated to be the way that it is. Like, yeah, this is the end of these systems. Like, something is for sure happening. I can just tell, I can feel it. I feel like this is what everyone was feeling in terms of things building up. And then you have all of that on top of the fact that scientists linked to NASA were disappearing and losing their lives. And all of these other scientists and researchers tied to anti-gravity and jet propulsion and all of these other things are disappearing. We have the age of disclosure, literally the government coming out with all of this stuff regarding aliens. It's like, yeah, no. I just really feel like this is genuinely the end. especially with the current administration and everything that they've been doing, yeah. This is looking more and more like a series finale. And I'm not saying the world will end, because I feel like the world will continue no matter what. You know what I mean? But feels like the series finale for how things have been all the way up until this point in history, in all of history. Like, something is going to shift and something is going to change, because this just feels like everything is piling up and it's a culmination of all of these things, and it's literally reaching its boiling point, like right now. And so I feel like something is about to drastically happen that's going to shift the way the world is forever. I really do feel that way.
So apparently outbreaks on ships are the new thing. First you have the hantavirus outbreak on the ship. 149 people, 3 people died, and everybody is panicking. And now the CDC just announced that we have a norovirus outbreak on another ship. You heard what I just said? The Caribbean Princess Cruise has a norovirus outbreak with over 100 people sick. They're saying that 102 passengers and 13 crew members are sick. Let's keep in mind that this ship is way bigger than the ship that these people had the hantavirus outbreak on. You have 3,000 passengers, and on top of 3,000 passengers, you have over 1,000 crew members. So if all of those people catch that norovirus, what's supposed to happen? They're saying that these people on that ship with diarrhea, they're vomiting. Now, I'm going to say something without saying it, because you know how these people get. I need you to pay attention. You have Moderna saying that they're researching so they can make a hantavirus vaccine. They just randomly want to make a hantavirus vaccine. Hantavirus has been there for ages. Why haven't they been made a vaccine? Okay, now back to business. Now, mind you, the norovirus isn't that serious. And they're also saying that it's common for people to catch that norovirus on cruises. But at a time like this, that random outbreak doesn't seem so random at all, right? But again, they're saying that there's no threat to the general public. So I'm guessing we shouldn't be worried, right? Pay attention.
That's what I'm on. Oh, gee. That's a fact, because like, you ever seen somebody die and you look in their eyes, it's like they looking past you.
Yeah.
Cause like that's why they don't pull the plug until you brain dead.
Nothing about brain dead, right? I'm gonna tell you this, everybody understand there's no such thing as brain dead, right? And they tricked everybody to make you think that they're brain dead, because listen, they want your organs, right? They want to give your organs to somebody else, so they invented brain death for that reason. Listen, ask the physicists, ask the doctors, the people that understand this, right? There's no way if you breathing and your heart is pumping that they will kill you to say your brain dead, because your brain is the reason why all that stuff is happening. That stuff couldn't happen without your brain. Your brain is still sending signals everywhere. When brain dead comes, you're dead, right? There's no such thing as brain dead. When you're dead, you're dead. Brain dead is still alive, gang. They're just still in organs.
There's a ton of patents. I was going down a patent rabbit hole the other day, and they have so many patents. They have something called microwave auditory effect, and they have a patent to where they can beam frequencies into your mind.
Yeah.
And you can hear shit.
Amy Astridge, that's what she said they were doing.
They're using microwave pulse frequencies, and they can beam whatever they want. Sounds, voices.
What about the AirPods?
The AirPods, yes.
Okay.
AirPods, yes.
The AirPods. That's why I say use cords. Stop using those.
Yep. So Apple has a patent. They have a patent where they have certain electrodes in the new AirPods. Something called EEG, which essentially is scanning your brainwaves, to where they have these electrodes in your AirPods, and they're essentially capturing your
or implanting, I guess, too.
Or
maybe,
implanting.
yeah.
When did we sign up for this?
Right.
Like, we just turned into
unbelievable.
Fucking science projects.
It's crazy.
All for some damn AirPods, some $500 AirPods. I know somebody who she went through an alien abduction, and they use their minds. Like, they communicate telepathically.
Telepathically, yeah.
Wait, I think I remember this conversation.
So it's kind of like it's that same kind of technology. It's like, how are you able to?
See, that's what I think. I think that they actually know this, and it comes down to free will, because God gave us free will, right? Nobody can make us do anything. We have to want to do it. So it has to be what? Influence. So what they do is they beam these ideas into our head, making it think that we're thinking, oh, wait, I do want to do that. I do want to, do X, Y, and Z. It's like, wait, no, that's not you, though. So it has to be some kind of consent in order to make something happen.
What movie?
The Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, because he was eating noodles, or he was eating rice, and he was like, yeah, how are those maggots? And he was like, maggots? And he looked down, and it looked like he was eating maggots.
Right.
Oh, shit.
And then he dropped it, and it turned right back into, it was rice.
I remember that.
So you have to give him like permission, like the vampires.
Yep.
Permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't come in unless you invite them in.
Yeah.
It's all permission. It's all consent.
It's always in the movies.
Look, that's our ship!
Purple! An emergency message. Outbreak of the deadly virus is spreading rapidly.
A virus?
Worrying new challenge in efforts to contain the hantavirus.
All we want right now is to feel safe.
For now, nobody is being allowed off the boat.
All ships must remain at sea.
Have fun! My booze!
It's the same disease that killed Betsy Arakawa, the wife of late actor Gene Hackman.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the hantavirus. I'm saying it wasn't the hantavirus.
They're buying it. They're buying it.
Your father and I were recruited for a project. They told us it was biological warfare or a virus.
What killed those men?
A silent weapon for a quiet war.
Okay, hear me out. I have a really wild conspiracy I want to share with you. I don't think anyone else is talking about this. Let's talk about celebrities, plastic surgery, and Ozempic. So I recently saw a couple of images of these celebrities, and one of the things that I've seen for a number of years now is that the trend of plastic surgery, especially to the face, was sort of a program created by the shadow governments to cover up their clones. Oh, don't worry about that. That's just bad plastic surgery. So everyone talks about the plastic surgery and not the fact that the person is very different in other ways. So that being said, now there's this whole Ozempic movement, which obviously is scary for a number of reasons. But these celebrities are not only just looking very skinny, concerningly skinny, and plastic surgeryed out, but they're looking older. And as I came across one of these photos of a celebrity, couldn't tell you which one, this thought came to me. Hear me out. It's going to be crazy. What if all of a sudden their source of adrenochrome and other things has run out, and the individuals who used to consume other individuals and blood for reverse aging and health and wellness are now out of supplies? So I looked into it, of course, and I confirmed it. Because their supplies are running out, they're looking for other ways to look younger. And it's not a good look. But it's much better than the alternative of what they were consuming to reverse age. Now remember that we're talking about reptilians consuming blood and flesh in order to reverse the aging process of their human bodies. This is probably some of the best news I've ever heard, because it means that their supplies are running out and that the fight that we've been fighting against trafficking is working. For more information about rituals, reptilians, adrenochrome, and everything else in between, head on over to my website for all of those videos.
Trump just officially released the first batch of UFO files. Perfect timing, right? With everything that's going on around the world, perfect timing.
Fox News alert, the Trump administration releasing the first batch of files related to UFOs and alien life.
So is the truth really out there?
Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy joins us live with the details.
It's about to get crazy.
Good morning. So, a White House official left this hard drive on my desk overnight. You can see on it says AARO Files Copy 203. That is the All-Domain Resolution Office Copy 203. This is the first big batch of UFO disclosure ordered by President Trump. Some of the clips and videos on there have popped up different places before. Some of them have not. And we have been going through this all morning and overnight to try to put together some of the best videos so we can all look at this together. This is a world exclusive right here. So let's go to the first clip. Over the skies of the United Arab Emirates in June 2024. An inverted teardrop with a vertical...
There's more videos up. If y'all want to go see them yourself, just go to war.gov/UFO. And y'all tell me what y'all think about this shit.
This shit is getting crazy. Did you hear about the 27 people that got locked up on Disney cruise for watching and dealing with? Wow. I can never, my mind just don't work that way. How can people do this kind of shit? If you ask any child, what do they want to do? The first thing they say is, I want to go to Disney World. Why do all children want to go to Disney World? Why are there grown-ass people watching children? If you know anything about Disney, you shouldn't be shocked. You should be mad, but you shouldn't be shocked. It's a well-known fact that Disney been doing subliminal messages forever, especially when it comes to children. They be hiding certain words in the background. They make certain characters do other things with other characters, but it look harmless, but it's really not. This shit been going on for a long time. Okay. Let's take this shit a little deeper. 27 people got arrested on Disney cruise. Another cruise. But what is Disney known for? The mouse. So we have a mouse on another cruise. Now we are dealing with the hantavirus, a virus that's deadly that comes from a mouse. We have Walt Disney mouse on a cruise. Now we are dealing with a deadly virus from a mouse on a cruise. I don't know. It just seemed like all this shit is connected.
This is Jiren from Dragon Ball Super. He is one of the, if not the strongest in multiple parallel universes. Now, what's interesting about Jiren is that if you take a look at Jiren, what does he look like? He has very similar characteristics, if not identical, to a gray alien. Now, this character from an alternate universe who happens to be super strong fighting against Goku for the sake of life of the entire whole cosmic framework. The final boss is Jiren. I don't know if y'all heard about these pastors getting calls from Washington where they're saying prepare the people because they're not ready to what's getting ready to be unraveled. You didn't. And my videos don't say nothing about aliens being real. Okay? What do we learn? This video right here is not evidence that I'm telling you that they know that aliens are real. That is not what this is, okay? What did we learn? What did we learn?